The winning title for our $1,000 Colin and Samir brand sponsorship giveaway is to a channel called Boot Scrap. And their title is How I Gave Away $1,000 that Colin and Samir gave me.
It's pretty interesting. I think that's a good act one. It's concise, and I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with $1,000.
Use the hashtag #CleanUpForCash and tag its creators at Bootscrap.
Boot Scrap. These guys won the $1,000.
Okay, so just for a little context, a month before that announcement, Colin and Samir made this video.
The format we want you to pitch in is just the title. So give us the title of your YouTube video, and we're gonna scroll through, and if we like one of them, or there's one that has a ton of likes and everyone seems to like it, that's the one that we're gonna fund and sponsor.
In the original comment, I said, video is of us seeing how far $1,000 can be stretched to make a meaningful impact in people's lives, which for the record is a whole lot easier to comment on a YouTube video than it is to actually do in real life. Before we get into it, my name's JT. I'm a part of this company called Bootscrap, based in Wilmington, North Carolina. We make documentaries, music videos, and commercials, all ASAP, or as sustainable as possible. And at the time that Colin and Samir picked us, we were working with our local Boys and Girls Club to help organize and document the installation of a water purification unit at their club because of the polluted drinking water here in Wilmington.
This is technology at its finest right here. Technology at its finest.
During that, we became friends with the director, Jarrett, and he told us about how the COVID-19 pandemic was impacting them.
Before COVID, we had about anywhere between 80 and 90 kids daily. So now we're servicing about 30 to 35 kids.
So they had to cut the amount of kids that came to the club every day after school and all day during the pandemic by over half. Such an impossible decision, and another sad way COVID impacted people. So after learning about this, we decided to try to find a way we could somehow use this money with the Boys and Girls Club. So the first idea to stretch the money was to actually try to grow it. Our friends Micah and Ale do this plant sale once a month called Plants for Progress, where they take donated plants and sell them to benefit different activism groups, nonprofits, and food pantries. We asked them if the next sale could benefit the Boys and Girls Club, and they said they would love to. So we took about $50 from Colin and Samir's $1,000 and went and bought secondhand pots, and then brought them to the kids and asked them to paint something that made them happy. We took some plants, put them in the pots, and sold them at the next pop-up. A ton of people came out, it was a beautiful day, and we raised just under $2,000.
All right, so do me a favor and pick that up. Let me take it out, let's go. See ya. Everybody's gonna get to touch it real quick. I'm not gonna touch this money. We're gonna touch it, we're gonna touch it. Oh!
So the kids voted to spend the money on birthday parties and field trips, and I recently checked in with Jarrett, and they're still using that money almost a year later. Okay, so $50 spent, what's next? Hoping that we could curate a healthy mix of fun and education, we reached out to our friends at Redbeard to see if they would be interested in hosting a day at the farm. One of the farmer's cat patiently gave a wonderful tour to the kids, and they learned all about where their food is grown.
Ago, but this is where we start the plant.
Sweet potatoes, peppers, and even a quick look into the mushroom forest. To try to make the field trip a full circle experience, we asked our friends at Palate, Jeremy, and Parker to bring their food truck out to the farm and cook up a delicious meal for the kids. We gave them the peppers, turnips, and sweet potatoes that we had just picked right out of the ground, which they prepared with local cheese grits, soft-shell crab, and barbecue. And this got the kids really excited.
Can I get one? May I get one? Thank you.
Dang, this is a lot of things.
Is this grits?
Top 5, ditto alive.
And we even got to try the grits.
Don't mind us, just spoon licking out here. Couple of spoon lickers.
And what was extra incredible is it again didn't cost us a cent. Palate and Redbeard Farms were just happy to help out. Okay, sweet. So still $50 spent. What's next? We hit up our friend Dusty at A Bike for Every Child to see if he had any old secondhand bikes that we could buy off of him for a deal and then give to the kids. And it turned out that he had plenty, but they did need some tender love and care. So we enlisted the help of another friend, Leah, who runs a nonprofit called Special Pedals, an organization that employs adults with disabilities to work on bikes. So we hopped in her truck, snagged about 25 bikes from Dusty.
Wow, these bikes were hand selected.
And her and her team diligently went from bike to bike, cleaning, greasing, fixing, and replacing broken parts. After all this work, they gave them away for free to kids in the neighborhood that next Christmas. So it all went great except for one thing. We didn't spend any of the money. So Dusty gave us the bikes for free and Leah didn't charge us for the labor. So after months of filming and planning, we still hadn't done the one thing we were supposed to do, which is use this money, which I just want to take a second to appreciate how cool that is, that all these people in Wilmington are just wanting to help out and aren't in it for the money. But before we get into how we spent the rest of the money, let me tell you a little bit about our sponsors, Colin and Samir. They make content about creators to empower and educate other creators. They routinely have today's top names in the space on their show, and they are great at distilling the most important lessons to their audience. They also have a bi-weekly newsletter called The Published Press for all the stories in between. A link to more of Colin and Samir's content is in the description. Thank you all so much for sponsoring this video. We really appreciate it.
Mwah.
So with $950 left, we decided to partner with our friends at Plastic Ocean Project and host a giant litter cleanup downtown. We called it All Clear Cape Fear and invited the squad. The Spill Coffee Girls brought their coffee trailer, and Joe, the director of the landfill, came through and he gave us eggs from his chickens to give away. In total, on a cold day in February, 75 people from all over Wilmington showed up. We gave them bags, grabbers, vests, and sent them out. We'd exchanged all the money to singles, and while people were showing up and picking up trash, we surprised them with the cash.
Six. That's an $8 bag, my friend.
Thank you, dude. I really appreciate that.
For sure. Thanks for coming out, dude.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Shut up! Thank you!
Thanks for coming out. Thanks for driving. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
We definitely don't litter, that's for sure.
Hey, my guy!
Thank you so much. Hey, and we're going around today giving out money. Wanted to tip you.
Oh, well, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
We got trash and Impossible Burgers, baby.
Plenty of shenanigans went down, a sack race.
You see that field over there? We're sack racing.
Garion and Blair tried to buy a horse.
What's the total cost of the horse?
We only have singles.
Okay. So
It was a blast. People brought back everything from bumpers to dirty diapers to thousands of cigarette butts.
This is an old pop-up from an umbrella.
We put all of the litter into trash bags and started to weigh.
6.2.
0.8.
6.6. Our grand total is 706 pounds.
Tremendous difference. Tremendous. Thank you so much. It's just really nice to see people give a damn. So thanks for walking around downtown and doing this.
Now that we had collected all of this trash and it was in our backyard, it felt like our responsibility. So we decided to try to properly divert it as best we could. But this meant that we had to open each and every bag and hand sort each and every piece of trash. And once we had all this trash spread out, an idea came to recreate Michelangelo's classic, The Creation of Adam. So Lloyd and Garion came by to make it happen. So after it was all said and done, we were able to divert about 250 pounds, or about 35% of the cleanup. Here is what we were able to recycle. Number 1 and number 2 plastics, number 5 plastics, e-waste, aerosol cans, paper, styrofoam, chip bags, masks, cigarette butts, wood, metal, cardboard, aluminum, glass, and a couple tires. There's always a tire. And unfortunately, the rest we couldn't figure out how to recycle and it ended up in the landfill. But at least it was out of the street and not entering our waterways. So after all that counting, we still had to count the money. And during the cleanup, we had given away about $650, so we had $300 left over. I asked my friend Garion if he would match my $300 for $600 total, and to keep the eco trash giveaway vibes going, we put out a new challenge on social media.
All you have to do is go outside and clean up some trash. The amount is up to you.
We were pretty floored with the responses. The challenge was taken to places we didn't imagine. Full-on skits, sculptures, high-concept photo shoots. People participated from all over the country and even underwater. We estimated that about 200 pounds of trash was picked up during the process.
Well, the results are in, and they're freaking sick. Eco Warrior Sam Shores, you won first place.
Sam did a litter cleanup on the beach and then created a postcard to plastic. We encouraged him to use the money he won to create more of this impactful art, still trying to stretch this money as far as possible. So to quickly recap, we first doubled the money and gave it to the Boys and Girls Club. Then we took our new friends on a farm-to-table field trip, then fixed up and gave away 25 bikes, then hosted 2 litter cleanups, one in person, one virtual, resulting in over 900 pounds of trash picked up, and gave away money to those good people during the process. And the last product that this money made is this video, but I really hope that it can serve as evidence that you don't need money, you don't need a sponsor, you don't even need permission to be a force for good. You just tap into the resources that you have, the community that you're in, put in the effort, and the good will come. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, subscribe, we'll be making more, and of course subscribe to the boys, Colin and Samir. Thanks y'all.